Oh my God. Everybody, this is my niece, a young person.
Oh, hi.
She just,
Hi. Sorry.
whew, I have like flop sweat. This is only my second time going live. I'm waiting for Azure, and let me see if I can figure out how to bring her on. Good Lord. How do I invite her? Tap a response. Oh, Lord. You guys, I hate being old. Wait. Oh, wait. Somebody just sent me a request. This is murderous. Who is that? Okay, can you all people who are not Azure Antoinette not send me requests to be live because it only confuses my old addled brain. Azure, can you send me a request saying that I see you on there. Say you want to join me. Azure, help me. I'm old. I'm old. Oh my God. Go live with, here we go. I think it's going to happen now. Shut up. You do not get to mock me. You do not get to mock me. I am ancient. I have arthritis. This is hard for me. I'm
Listen,
perspiring.
I know this
Oh,
is tough.
whew. These are hard times.
You are you are you okay?
Look, I'm sweating.
No,
Why
and
is it so hard?
I think you
And the
just
worst part is everybody has to enjoy watching me not
hmm
know.
hmm
Hi, honey.
Hey, it was confusing. I've never but I didn't know how to help you. So I just
You
started sending
couldn't.
you notes.
You couldn't. My niece was
Yeah.
here doing what she could too, but we're
We all we're all just giving it our best. We're doing what we can.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Okay. Hi, beautiful. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. How are you really?
Yeah, I am
You
all
good?
right.
Yeah.
I put on a shirt and
What? Look
this
at you with a shirt.
and a tie.
Look at
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
God, I wore my
mhm.
best overalls.
There you look wonderful. And I have on Birkenstocks.
Wait a minute. Literally.
No. Wait.
From the eyeglasses
Look at
to the feet.
We
Hello.
didn't plan this, y'all.
We didn't plan this, y'all.
I know it
I'm in
probably
my
feels like we
laundry room.
did. You are, oh, it looks really nice.
Thanks. That's because the curtain is drawn on the
Yeah.
mess. Um,
It's yep. Mhm.
oh, honey.
Hi.
It's good to see you. Hi, everybody.
Hi, y'all.
Everybody, if you don't know who I'm talking to, that is a problem that we have to remedy. This is my beloved friend, the poet, the activist, the teacher, my beloved Azure Antoinette, who I absolutely love with every single molecule of my being. And we have lately been doing these
Mhm.
Instagram live conversations, but we've lately been doing them on your Instagram live account, which means I don't have to do the scary, terrifying thing of trying to sign on like I just did.
Mhm.
Um, but now we thought that I should become an adult, or maybe a young person, and learn how to do this. So yeah, we're here today, and that's it. That's my
And
introduction.
I wanted to just say for all of you watching, if you're new to this real fun segment that Liz and I like to call, uh,
we
you
call
know,
it we call it the morning show with Azure
uh
and Liz. It's like the morning drive radio show.
at any time though, it doesn't have to be morning for
There's
anyone.
always somebody waking up.
Hmm.
There's always somebody
Oh,
waking
I
up.
like that.
Wait, and that
Oh,
has many meanings,
yeah,
doesn't it?
doesn't it? Morning, waking up. Someone's always coming to. Wow.
Somebody
You
always
what?
coming to
You should
life.
write something.
I, you know,
Hmm.
I, I was thinking about it, but it doesn't pay well.
Jill says, give it and pause. Jill, that's a wonderful suggestion.
Nice.
Give it, give it, give it and pause.
Oh,
Yeah,
somebody else
it's
joined us
good.
just woke
It's,
up. Hi, guys.
yeah.
Um, so
So here's I want to give everybody a little history since you're my guest now on my Instagram live.
Yes,
Um,
please.
so I first met Azure years and years and years ago in Omaha, Nebraska. Many, many years ago, like 10, was it? Could it be?
Yes, ish. Yeah.
Ish, like 10 years
Yeah.
ago. And
Yeah, yeah,
we were
yeah.
both
Yeah,
speaking at
almost.
this same event, and oh God, you just came out and like first of all, I met you in the catering hallway of the hotel where we were, and we
We did.
instantly like just sat down and started talking, and we were like, this is good. This is good. And then, oh, I'm so sorry for anyone who missed this. You went on stage and you read, spoke, performed your poetry, and I had to follow you, which was unfortunate for me because
Okay.
there was hardly like I don't know how there was a roof left on that place when you were done. It was
Aw.
so amazing, and we have become friends ever since. And we were supposed to be doing this really cool conference that Azure and her partner Savannah created. That's called the Teller Conference, a conference for women storytellers, and we were going to be doing it in June of this year in Puerto Rico, and it was going to be awesome. And then it turns out that I don't know if you guys have all caught up on this, all of you who are watching this. 2020, I don't know if you noticed, has been an interesting year. And a lot of things that were planned didn't happen, and a lot of things that were more important did. Um, so
Yeah.
anyway, we just brought the conference to Instagram, and we're kind of doing it on our own. And then we did National Poetry Month together and gave everybody poetry assignments, which was amazing. And that's who she is. That's who we are. Just two
Yeah.
Birkenstock wearing, peeper wearing ladies, just living their best lives.
Wait, I just have to I love these names. Baby got Jesus. That is what? I love it. Where do you all come up with this? Oh, mine's just my name. That
It's
is
just
so cool.
I just love that somebody's parents named you Baby Got Jesus. I think that's just like, I think an unusual name is a really,
Mm.
really beautiful
Mhm.
act of rebellion against capitalism. So I just think it's great that your name is Baby Got Jesus.
Yes, and if you heard it from Liz, and what we're saying is we like it. That's what we're saying.
We like
We love
it.
it. I have a
Um,
blog. Okay,
oh,
we're
okay,
about it.
cool.
We're on
And I
it.
think I saw Maison, who's an old friend of mine,
Nice.
who's anyway. We do have the best classes ever, and that is the one thing in a divided world, in an increasingly divided world. I think that that is the one place where we can all come together is recognizing that Azure and Liz really do have a quite a penchant for quality eyewear.
We 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 are the same. It's hard to
We're the
tell the
same
difference.
here. Yeah, we're
We
the
are.
same here. Yeah,
We who's
it's
who?
increasingly hard to tell the difference.
It's becoming so difficult for even me. I look in the mirror and I'm like, "Hi, I'm Liz Gilbert." Oh, sorry. No, that's
I'm
not.
like,
Yep.
hi, I'm spoken
Yeah.
word performer, activist, and honey, where do you want to go? Do you want to talk about the world today, or do you want to, this moment? Do you want to talk about this? Do you want to talk about what your week has been like? Do you want to read us some poetry? Do you want
Yeah.
to? Yeah,
I'm gonna go get, I am never prepared for these. I'm gonna just go get some poems
go get
and
some poems.
try not
Like,
to
do you
hang up
mean
on
by,
me.
okay, so I'm not going to touch any buttons. When
Okay.
you say you're going to get some poems, do you mean like sit down and let them inspiration pull them into your mind? You're just going to get them that way. So I'm just going to wait for like however long that takes. You're just literally going to go get a book.
No, I'm gonna go get the book I wrote. Uh, and now you've made me feel a little bit bad about it. You've made me feel a
Because
little bit bad.
I thought you could just get it.
Don't
Just be like,
don't do that. Don't do that. Not today. All right,
okay,
I'll be right back.
go
Try
get
not to
some
hang up.
poetry.
You just
I'm
hang
gonna
here.
try so hard. Oh Lord, hello London. Oh, you guys, how's everybody doing? How is everybody doing out there? Oh, here she's back already. Thank God. I hate doing this without you.
I couldn't hear you. Were you saying something
Okay,
inappropriate?
no, I was just show everybody your book, please, because it is
Book.
so good.
Y'all have been
Hold it up. Hold it
you've
up.
oh, sorry. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
It's so good.
Y'all have been um, really supportive and very awesome and purchasing um, the book and thank you for supporting Black owned business. Thank you for supporting my voice. Thank you for putting your voices in this space. And it's to answer your question, Liz. I think that I have been trying to intentionally focus on joy today. And I can't speak for where I'm going to be at tomorrow. But I have been really inspired just by looking at some of the photos of young people that I've had a chance to connect with, and I got a chance to perform on the steps of Langston Hughes Place right before everything got all shut down in Harlem, and it was amazing. And so that's been that. I've been just like thinking about that. I've been thinking about all of the young people that I have met that continue to change my mind about archaic things and things that desperately need an overhaul. And that goes so far beyond just the amazing young Black kids that I have had a chance to work with and listen to their stories. I'm talking about this youth generation that we have right now is mobilizing in such a gorgeous way. And so they inspire me always. I think that young people have such a beautiful pulse around change and really focusing on not being indifferent and giving things proper reverence and taking steps and taking chances. And so that has been where I've been really like focusing my energy on today. And I also been thinking about how blessed I feel to be surrounded by so many allies, so many people that I know, like yourself, that I can always count on, that I can speak to, that are sensitive enough to ask me how I am doing, and just give me space and give me support and lend support. So anyone that has reached out and picked this up, I appreciate it. You have my heartfelt gratitude and thanks, and I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope to be writing as long as I possibly can. So yes, I would love to share a poem if that suits. What do you think about that, LG?
I think that's a really excellent plan.
Okay.
I think that's a really excellent plan. And I love that I don't know which one you're going to read. Because last night we talked about this and I said, do you want to read a poem when we go live? And
yeah.
And you were going to send it to me. I said, you know what? I love anticipation and mystery so much. Like I want to have it be fresh in my ears the same time that it's fresh in everybody else's ears. So
all right. Sweet.
Let's do it.
I did a TED talk in Sonoma. And I had written this poem originally for the folks at Johnson & Johnson and for Pride for this month, June, that we are in. So I thought I'd share that one with you all today. The truth is, I spend so much of my free time reminiscing and wishing I were a kid again. Do you remember waiting for the first day of school after a long summer break? Your crisp backpack, your new lunchbox, the stickers, folders, and the few unnecessary items that you conned your parents into buying you. That first day was always epic. There was no division, just a race to the sandbox or the lunch line or the sheer panic when you realized that all three Tiffany's in your class had birthdays in the same week. See, growing up, we were all friends. Her hair was fire engine red, his freckles the size of M&Ms, their olive skin, red cheeks, long legs, and chubby fingers. And the only difference was the decals on our bicycles. So when did the playground become a battlefield? A space of lines and groups and silos mimicking these now divided United States. When the seasons changed from sandbox compassion to bullying and gossip, I remember thanking the universe for the few that stood by and helped me off the ground or ate lunch with me in the bathroom, the friends that didn't let their own popularity eclipse their humanity. They were the ones that provided safe haven when Ian and Michael came back to school as more than just friends. They were the ones that respected Evelyn in her sunset and transitioned to Edward. Yes, they were the ones that shielded Sean and Michelle before the media decided that Black lives even mattered. They were the ones that kept my covenant when I couldn't bear the thought of doing anything but staying in, because coming out, that was for girls who knew their bellies could never be yellow. I want to tell you that the equality campaigns, the viral videos, and the numerous sound bites vowing the resilient comeback of humanity and kindness, make my mouth break into a sunset wider than the Tahitian skyline itself. I want to tell you that my voice doesn't tremble when I see an unfamiliar space, but then this poem would be fiction, and I promised I was going to tell you the truth. So I'll say this: being different is a journey worth living, and coming out was the only way I started fitting in. And there are days where I'm terrified to face the headlines because there's too many slain in the name of a cross, a government party, or amendments that have long since needed amending. I know that it's hard, that we don't know one another yet, but I beg you to keep the faith. I beg you to remember that we must speak our truth. Even when our spine quakes and our palms weak, I beg you to remember the power of your voice and to always boldly demand its presence. Even when the words that fear themselves hide in the base of your throat, it is then that you must summon them forward, because our silence is not only consent, it is complicit acceptance. No matter who you love, we know right from wrong. So may we champion good again. We, the highlighted minority, the allies, the black and brown face, the queer, the quietly flamboyant, the culturally reserved, and the wild children of an acronym society. We have to stand up. Don't fret about your posture being straight, because the color lives in the slant. It lives in the bent spines and in the bellies that aren't just yellow, they're chock full of rainbows. We have to root ourselves in this battleground, crawling through the concrete to break the cemented ideals of a manufactured equality. You belong here. We have to return to the sandbox, to the monkey bars, to the kickball courts. We must remember to take joy in the midday birthday suites, the days where daylight allows us to play outside a bit longer than usual. So I pray that you never grow weary in your well-doing. You, the gay, the free, the black, the brown-faced, the breast, the womb, the disenchanted, the outlasted, because this is not a fight. This is not a war. This is our legacy. So may we fill the air with a song of solidarity, off-key, pitch slight, and yet exploding with heart. May this song become our battle cry, and may you fall in love with those most unlike you so that you can kiss their spirit with gratitude and fraternity. It will take all of us, the ally, the different, the straight, the pale, the rainbow, the rust, and the grist. We're the same, you know, you and I. She that identifies he, him that is they, we that bellows in laughter at our binary constructs in this turbulent time of misappropriation, racial warfare, and human apathy. We must hold on. I'm asking you. I'm tired too. I want to leave too. And too many mornings I have entertained and indulged in the persuasion of giving up. I know the road is long, but how gorgeous is the world with you. Days like today. My hope feels limitless. My capacity to love and accept feels boundless. And to paraphrase Buzz Lightyear, I'd venture to say that my hope stretches past infinity and beyond. Thank you.
Ah, jeez. Oh, man. So good.
Thanks,
So
LG.
good.
Thank you.
So good. They are the ones
Thanks,
who
y'all.
kept my covenant. I wrote that down. I kept seeing people writing lines in the, which is so cool. Like, it's like they're shouting it back to you.
Yeah, I love it.
And coming out was the only way I found that I could fit in. I was like, oh, God, it's
Thank
so
you.
beautiful.
Thanks,
What is
y'all.
it? What happens to you when you're reading? Like, what's that experience? I know what it's like to hear it, but what's that experience like for you to do that?
I think I have always felt that performing and writing is the only thing that I can do without thinking. It's the only thing that I do without effort.
Yeah.
I think that everything else I have to focus very hard on.
Yeah.
I have trouble with very basic tasks, like in a non-explainable sort of way, you know. But writing has been my first skin. Music is my first love, but writing and just emoting is something that like I can do without processing anything any further. So that has been that has been a saving grace. I think performing, being on stage, talking in front of thousands of people, I could never imagine having a better job. There is nothing in this world that I would rather do
You
than
know that
sit
it's
and
the
talk to
number one
people.
fear that most people have
A
is public speaking.
100%. Yeah, yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
believe it is the number one
Yeah.
phobia that people have.
Yeah,
And you're
like,
like, please, could I have that job every single
let
minute of
me
my
have
life?
it. And I just
Yeah.
feel like I'm a massive empath. I know you get that. Letting people down, making mistakes, committing wrongdoing. Like, I I'm worried about that. I worry about my fallacy as a human being. But the thing that I know that I was meant to do while here on earth is to write and to speak. Like, I literally can't plan another thing. I used to always think it was to love, but like, I'm also terrible at that. I'm not great at that either. So
Yeah, but this is to be love, you know, like to actually become that. Because just whenever I see you perform, I always feel like, oh, she's not even there right now. Like
yeah,
she's not even there right now. Like, this is just a channeling of the source. Like,
yeah,
she is now just drinking from the source and giving us that.
I love
And
it.
it's like this holiday that you get to have, from having to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do a
I,
thing.
I met this woman one time who was a dancer, and she had danced with Martha Graham Company when she was very young, when she was 19, and she was from a very small town. She was extremely insecure. She got cast as Joan of Arc. No pressure. Lincoln Center. Here you
No
are,
big
kid.
deal.
You know,
Yeah.
like, and now go. And she told me that she was standing in the wings, and she was so terrified. And she said, all I wanted to do was die. All I wanted was for the ground to open up and for me to be sucked down into it so that I wouldn't have to exist anymore. And she said, and then it happened. I died. The ground sucked up and swallowed me. And the only thing left that walked out on stage was Joan of Arc. There was no more me. It was just
That's so subtle.
Joan of Arc.
Yeah. Because
And that's what I feel like whenever I hear you read. It's like,
when you were just describing, like, she was like, I just wanted the ground to open up. That's how I feel about like Texas and um all the compliance that one has to have. I'm just like, just take me, just take it. But yes, I think that that's the thing that I know that is the thing I can understand, and that is
yeah,
the thing I can count on.
yeah,
And that, like, that I feel that. And I
yeah.
remember when I got discovered, um, I was performing at the women's conference for Maria Shriver. It was her last year as First Lady of California, and it was the story is hellacious and terrible. But I had gotten there, and it was my first like real big gig, and I had just met Sarah McLachlan in makeup, hair and makeup, and I had never really like sat next to anybody that famous before. I mean, outside of Maria Shriver, my mom was like, "Don't disappoint the family. Don't embarrass
Oh
us."
no.
And I was
Oh
like,
no.
okay, understood, copy.
Oh
So
no.
there I am sitting next to Sarah McLachlan, and
Like you do.
I am sitting there getting my makeup done for the first time, and I start humming the song "In the Arms of an Angel," the commercial she used to do for the, and I was like, trying to be very subtle, and it was horrific. I was like, azure. When you leave your body and you can see yourself like committing the thing? Like, I was like, stop
Make
humming.
it
Yeah.
stop doing
And
that. Make it stop doing
she
that.
looked over at me, and I was just like, I want to help. I just started literally telling her how bad I felt. And then I was like, I don't have any money, but I have this Blockbuster gift card, and I have a few gift cards, and I would be happy to give those. And I had told everyone that I had met that day that I only had like $4. Like, that was the only thing I could think of to tell everyone, that I didn't have any money. So, like,
I want you to understand that I do, however, have a Blockbuster
yeah,
gift
I
card,
do have a gift
and
card.
I'm willing to share of it
Yes,
unto
and
you.
It is
because
yours.
I'm here to serve.
And I was like, the cat with the one eye. I mean, is he all right? And
Oh
she's
my
just looking at me
God.
very like spacey, but being super cool. And so I go backstage and they tell me that, there's 15,000 people, the thing's sold out, 1 million watching on simulcast. And all I could think of was like, I can't wait to get out there. And my
Ah,
mom said when she
that's
was, yeah, when
awesome.
she was in the audience, she said, you looked the same way you did on your first day of kindergarten. Like you were
Oh,
just like stoked. And I have never been so excited in my life. I looked up and saw myself on the Jumbotron and I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing that's ever happened. And I just stayed that pumped. And now every time I take this stage, like I feel like I'm just going to implode like a marshmallow peep in a microwave. I really love it.
but the thing is, you don't, but we do. Like
Oh,
you do your thing and then we implode. Like
yeah.
you've seen me when I've seen you live, literally jump out of my
Yeah.
chair,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
like propelled
Yeah.
by a rocket. Like you actually
Ready.
convey that implosion toward us,
You
which
were
is
so
the
cool too
coolest
because
thing.
you jumped up. You were like, that was fucking awesome. I was like, you heard the Eat, Pray, Love lady? Do what she said. You didn't even give us any instruction, but I felt like you were telling us to go somewhere, and I know
Do
they
what
would have
she
all,
says.
I know they would have all come with me in Omaha. I know they would have done it. But
Oh,
yeah,
honey.
it's been beautiful. It is a dream. It is, feels like it's been deferred. We have found a
Yeah,
way to conjure like a community that's checking in on each other. I love
yeah,
seeing all the tellers like checking in on their different pages and just staying connected at the behest of like getting the story out. And like
yeah.
if we can do this forever, LG, I'm down. Like
I have literally nothing else to do.
yeah, not busy. Same.
I have no children. I have no partner. I'm just like, I'm good. My dog only needs 3 walks a day. How many novels can I write? What else am I going to do with my time?
Do you
What could
think
I possibly do that would be better with my
wait,
time than hang out with you and make shit?
but do you think that the dogs are like, I don't want to walk anymore? You know what I mean? Because I'm
I have
starting
to
to
send
feel
you a
like
video. I have a video of Chunky just being like,
I'm not going
yeah,
to do
no.
it.
He's
Yeah.
not a morning guy.
Bella sleeps till about noon and then she'll stretch out real long. And then she's like, well, now, so you're still home. You guys are still, wow, you are still here in the house. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. That's what's okay.
Oh,
We've got an invitation to come watch some kids, Liz. There's some
oh,
folks that have said that we can
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Hmm,
That's
hmm.
great. I'll put that right at the top of my calendar.
Yeah, let's see. Let's
You
see.
can you guys, you can send me your kids when I'll give you the parameters. You can send me your kids when they're between 9 and 12 years old, um, or when they're over 17. That's it. Otherwise, I'm not in.
I would like to say I can be more helpful. I have some flexibility and
Yeah.
ages,
Yeah,
so
but
we can fill
I
in.
do love 9 to 12 year olds. They're so good. They're so good.
There,
Um, so I made a poem too.
can you read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I made a poem last night because I knew we were going to be talking, and I was like, I felt this stubbornness, and I think you're expressing it too, of like, you and I talk about everything, and we have certainly been talking about, I mean, we talk about everything, but I also I'm very inspired by something that my friend Ebony Janice says, which is that she gets frustrated that Black people and Black activists can only be activists, and she did a survey one time of like I don't remember the exact number, but let's just say for the point of the argument, like 100 activists, and she said, "Is this what you always wanted to be when you grew up? Like, is this your dream? Is your life's dream to be a social justice warrior?" And they were all like, no, no, I want to be I'm an artist.
Yeah.
I'm a chef. I'm a painter. I'm a poet. I'm but I have to be this because you people keep killing us.
Yeah.
And so I'm required to be this. It's my moral duty to be this, but no, I don't want to be this.
Right.
I want to be a creator. I want to be whatever else they want it to be.
Yeah.
And so I feel like partially what I wanted to do today on Juneteenth is to be like, let's read poetry.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to get to be the fucking poet that you are.
Yeah.
Like, and I want everyone to know that that is what you are. And I want us to do this conversation too, you know?
Yeah.
So that is like our little act of rebellion today is,
and that is
yeah.
that's what you said, what you just said right now about it being an act of rebellion to be who you are, like whether that is success, whether that is rest is a radical act as well, you know. So
Yeah.
I love that, and I appreciate the opportunity to, you know, to come in these spaces and still get to just be myself, and we can do the things, and I appreciate that. I would love to hear your poem.
Somebody just asked, can this be a regular monthly thing? And I was like, girl, this is like a daily thing.
Like, we're trying not to get kicked off Instagram. Like, we don't.
This can 100% be a regular monthly thing.
Definitely.
Okay, so it is Pride Month, and I wanted to, and I'm so glad that you wrote about Pride. And this is a love story. This is a story about my love of Rhea, but it's also about this experiment this year. I just recently had 1 year sober.
Oh, congrats, babe.
Which I don't usually run around shouting about because it's a very humble process. And it's not like it's just...
You didn't change your Facebook badge.
I didn't change my Facebook. And so just last week was 1 year. And so last night after talking to you, I had an inspiration to write this poem, and it goes like this. It's called A Year Without Drinking. A year without drinking. It hasn't brought you back to me. Nothing can do that. But it has made me see more clearly the world you left behind. I don't mean the pretty things of the world, like the trees and the sky and our beloved old city. I could always see that beauty, even on a wine-dimmed night. But what I now see, sober, is what you were always trying to show me. How hard everyone is trying. How hungry for mercy is each man's heart. How each bad person has a good person trapped inside, desperate to get out the way you were, just like you always said. And how all the good people fantasize about throwing away their lives and riding away with someone forever, like I always wanted to do with you, like I still want to. I see more clearly our shared dilemma, I guess, what you used to call our humanity. There were days when you would call me up in tears, and when I asked what it was that was wrong, you would say, I'm just feeling my humanity, baby, and it's so good. So I guess I quit drinking, Rhea, because I want to feel my humanity too, and not just mine, but theirs, and maybe even the last shimmering aftermath of yours. Anyway, the way I see it now, drinking is just another form of leaving. And as the Zen master said to the runaway student, you're always free to leave, my son, but there's nowhere to go. So, my love, this is just me here to say, I miss you, and I guess I've decided to stay.
Wow, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was really beautiful. Damn, that was great.
Thanks, Azure.
Yeah, that was really, that was beautiful.
Just feeling my humanity. It was such a great thing that I learned from her because she was so unafraid of it, you know,
Yeah.
like she was so, because she'd been sober for a long time. I think that's what a lot of sobriety is just, can you bear to actually feel this?
Just stop and can you bear?
Can you bear?
Just can you? Do you have
Can
it?
you bear?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
bear?
but you know, it's right. I mean, it is about like the coping and that artificial feeling of being like, oh no, I'm having a good time, you know, as opposed to being like, I'm not, and should I fix that? Should I remedy what is keeping me from wanting to be in my right space? You know, like can I process everything actually, or do I need some sort of filter on top of that? So I resonate with that. I definitely get it. I get that. It's true.
And, you know, Rhea was a heroin addict for so much of her life, and she she used to say, she used to welcome the hard feelings because she said, for so many years, I made sure that I never felt anything.
Yeah.
And so she used to say, for me, it's funny, I'm looking at a picture of her right now. She's smiling. She's like, tell the people. She's like, she said, for me, feeling pain is a victory. It's it actually
Yeah.
means
Yeah.
that I'm okay. Whereas
Yeah.
how I spent those 12 years living on the streets and being, just keeping myself away from feeling pain. So like the ability to feel pain is what made her a champion. So yeah, I've just made this decision that I don't want to have bumpers around my I don't want to have bumpers or filters around my unvarnished experience of life.
Wow.
So that's been the experiment for the last year, and let me tell you, it's fucking unvarnished.
Yeah. None. Mm-mm. No. No. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What a time, huh? What a time.
What a time to quit drinking.
Yeah.
That's what I thought in 2020. I'm like,
Yeah.
I picked this year to do this.
Are you
Good
for
Lord.
real, y'all? Like, I find myself constantly like shouting at the sky in the open daylight, just like, oh, okay, so that's how you want
so now
to.
this.
Oh, cool, yeah, cool.
And
but
thanks for the murder hornets.
Yeah, I was like, huh? Open up, like she said, just take me. I can't. This is too much. So I feel it. I feel that, and I appreciate it. I know that like committing and denying oneself, I think in any space is difficult, just because your mind plays so many tricks to just be like, well, now that you said you can't have the thing, of course that's all you want, and you've got these two things in your body, your nervous system just fighting one another, and you're like, I don't even really like sourdough bread. I don't even really like stuff like that, but now I'm just like, if I could just have some and make one.
Okay, now I want sourdough bread.
No, you don't. You don't.
You're
You
an
don't.
enabler.
No, you're
Look
right.
what you've done.
This is my apology to you.
I just saw somebody said 60 days sober. It makes tears come to my eyes. God bless you.
Yeah,
God
absolutely.
bless you.
Absolutely.
So good. So what makes you want to stay here? I always think of that line, Sartre's line, exits are everywhere.
Yeah.
And exits really are everywhere. There's so many ways that we try to leave and not be in the experience of our life, whether it's substances or whether it's just, whatever it is that we try to check out with. Like, what is it that makes you want to be here?
I think that I think I am trying to listen. What I have found is that if I step back, if I remove myself and I'm just looking at all the things I was going to do, planning the Teller Summit Teller is something that is so deeply connected in my being. The idea that everyone has a story, every single person has one. And part of my work has just been helping brands and companies find out what their human threads are, writing these commissions for these different conferences and things like that. But it's always behind someone's heart. Even in corporate, if it's TD Ameritrade or if it's Charles Schwab or Clean and Clear, I don't even really wash my face. And I got the opportunity to be a spokesperson for the face washing brand, and I don't wash it. And I'm out of contract now, so I can say it because I said it a few times on stage while I was in contract, and that didn't go over as well. They were like, you can't tell people that you don't use the products, but I don't wash my face, really. Shower.
And you're like, no, I don't. It's not that I don't use your products.
I don't.
It's that I don't bathe.
Yeah. It's a tough time. Anyways, I digress. I'm sorry. And there is a story, even in talking to these Fortune 500s, like somebody was like, my father instilled this in me, or my mom used to teach me this, or when I was a kid, I knew I wanted to do this thing. And so we created this product, and that's why I've been at this company for X amount of years. I'm like, that's it. That's the thing. If you want to ask at your annual meeting why your employees, what brought them here, then let's focus on getting back to the story. What brought you here? How did you get here? And so Teller has been something that I have been thinking about in many different forms, literally since 2014, right after right after I opened for you when Big Magic came out. And it's taken on all these iterations, but I was like, this is the year I'm going to do it. We're going to do it. I'm going to host a conference. I've been speaking at conferences for 9 years. There's nobody better to be able to put this together than a speaker that goes through this gauntlet all the time with every gig. Like, we know what to do. So when I started this year, I got hit by a car on January 1st.
I remember that.
Unscathed. The cars were smashed up. It was a mess. I had like kind of like a bruised gash on my leg. But other than that, that was it. We were headed to Puerto Rico to go and to plan and to do this thing. And so I was like, we're going to do it. We're going to do this conference. We're ramping up. We're getting sponsorships. Like, everybody's getting excited. We're doing all this media. And then COVID hit. And I was like, no, this is going to calm down. No, it's going to be fine. And then it just kept going and going and going. So you postpone. And I was like, all right, we'll wait until we know more. And then we knew more. And then we had to cancel it and move it a whole year out. And so then you come home, you get back, I'm sitting down here and I'm like, I've been working on this for months. I have no idea where to even put my energy. Like, I'm terrified. I've got MS. My mom is elderly. Like, I don't know how to process all this information. And then we have this uprising again of the disproportionate race issue that we have in this country. And I literally, there have been days this year that have made me think, never mind. Mm-hmm. I'm out. Like, I've done it before. I can do it again. I'm out. I can't handle it. I can't hold it. And this community, the Teller Summit community, our talks, little by little, there have been these asteroids. I mean, just sheer velocity of inspiration to like move, keep going, like just build it. I don't even know what it's for. I don't know who's coming, just build it. And everything from the anthology to the little printing press that I made years ago that published my first book, everything has now found its place. And I have been speaking about diversity and inclusion as a consultant to these corporations for 8 years because I'm Black, because I'm gay, because I'm female, and because I have a disability. Not because somebody was slain. Like, this is just important that people know they have a place, that brands know, that companies know, that people spend their whole lives building something to leave to their children. And what I am trying to do is say, like, you deserve to. You deserve to have something to leave to someone that you love, somebody that loves you back. You deserve to have a legacy. And these are the ways in which we can help get that point across. And so I thought to myself, in the last 3 weeks, I have been busier. I have had more opportunities to get work than I have since I really gave it a go. I mean, I haven't solicited for work since 2011, since getting on that stage. I have not needed to try and introduce myself to someone. Like, I have been so blessed. I have been so blessed by the only thing that I actually know how to do, by a God that I still believe in, to be able to do this work. And if this is a job, then that's not what work is either, because I love this. Everything else, Liz, like making sure my electric bill is paid, difficult, really difficult. Oil changes, I don't do great. Like, the engine will fall out of the car before I'm like, how did this happen? You know, like, I'm not great.
What's
I'm
that
not,
blinking light mean?
What's that sound? Whose smoke is that?
Smell.
That's terrible. You know, but like, this thing, creating a space for people to tell their stories, that has kept me. And Teller has taken off and taken on its own road. But like, I promised myself that when I went back to work, when I went back to corporate after leaving human resources, I was going to come back as myself. And that's what I'm doing now. And now I get to be in the business of helping everybody understand their own alchemy. And that's what this is. I saw something going around about maybe 2020 wasn't a disaster. Maybe it was something else. And at first I read it and I was like, what is wrong with people? Why is everybody published? You know, so, but then
why is everyone allowed to talk?
I can't be sure. But then I sat back and I thought, you are living. You are safe. You are held. You are living. And not only not only do you have the ability to see clearly, but you have the ability to write the story. You have the ability to write this story for yourself, for these United States, for Black people, for allies, for people who are gay, for parents who are struggling that their kids are gay. Like, whatever it is, you have the ability to help move this needle. So that's why I stay. Like, because I'm supposed to be here. And I say that from the perspective of being equal, of being represented, of being heard, of knowing and living and loving the allies that have shepherded me my whole life. My entire life, I have been surrounded by people who have been purposed to know me, care for me, and not ask me for something. And a lot of those people don't look anything like me. And so what I am trying to do is, not only am I trying to just articulate a space that everyone's story is valid, I am trying to follow the calling that was placed on my life. And in any space, what you don't do is leave. You stay. You have to stay. You have to show up and you have to stay. And I keep encountering people talking about their discomfort. This is all temporary and this is all going to pass. And when it passes, let's all be on the right side of this. Let's all be on the right side of history. Let's all be writing these chapters furiously. Let us fill the entire free space with stories about how we overcame ourselves, our bias, our stress, our fears. Like, let's do it. And if that is you marching, if that is you protesting, if it is you writing, if it is you giving a solid prayer, I receive every single piece of it. I receive every part of it, because it takes everything, Liz. But allyship, I have seen that. I've seen it. I know that it's not a myth. I see people coming together for one another. And that is another reason to sit tight. That is another reason to stay. And we have it. We have the ability to be great. We have the ability to be as brilliant as we always have been. And I just want everyone, whether you are a rock, unshined, not polished, never seen, like, I want you to know that you're a sapphire. Like, I want you to know that you are so alchemic, like, that they wrote that about you. And when the universe conspires for your success, like, when you give in, it comes and it gets you. And that is what this year is showing me. I told myself when I got out of that car accident that the word that came to me was intention, and that I was to live this year with intention. And that is what I have been trying to do. Just don't start talking just for the sake of talking. Don't make a thing just to make a thing, but like, create, Azure. Create to live, to create a space and leave room for someone to come behind you, for someone to come on side of you, for someone to stand in front of you, but like, be intentional and make room. And so that for me has been it. That's been everything. It's been everything.
I just saw a whole bunch of people say, I am a sapphire. I want to write in my wall, I'm a sapphire. Thank you for telling me that I'm a sapphire.
That's right, everyone. Go out and buy all the sapphires. I wish I sold them.
Oh, so beautiful. So I saw that somebody wrote, there's so many things I want to say. Okay, one thing I want to say is one of the best pieces of advice I ever got when I was a very young person. I'm young now, but younger. When I was just a teenager, a friend of mine, her aunt told us, because we were panicking, like, what are we going to do with our lives? What are we going to do? What are we going to be? And she said something that spoke of such faith, but she said, you don't need to worry too much about it. What's going to happen is that you're going to find out that there's some things that you're good at, and everyone will want you to do those things. And that's how you'll know. So sometimes I feel like a calling is, sometimes it comes from within, like, this is a thing I'm compelled and it's required for me to put this out into the world. But other times you're literally called by the world, who are like, hey, can you, like, whatever the thing is, like, can you show me how to do this? Can you teach me this? Can you come and be in this space with us? And like, I didn't know I was supposed to be a speaker. I knew I wanted to be a writer, but the world called and said, we want you to talk more. And I was like, great. I'd love to. That's great. That's great. So when you say that you haven't, like, since 2011, Especially as a child, having been told to talk less. It's really nice when the world's like, "Hey, could you talk some more?" You know. And so this whole thing with Teller, I feel like this conference, I feel like it's a community that you're creating, but I think it's a call that you're answering, that you're doing what you're being told to do. You're doing what you're being told to do, and the people who are supposed to be in it with us are
Yeah.
showing up.
Yeah.
And maybe this year was needed for that community to find itself before Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
so that when we all meet in real life in Puerto Rico, we all already know each other.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a reunion of this entire year of tribe building.
Yeah.
And that's just you doing what the world was calling you to do and answering that.
Yeah.
It's so
For sure.
good.
For sure.
So good.
Sorry about that. Yes. Okay.
Somebody had a question. I want to see if we have time. We've got 8 minutes
Yes.
before we're going to get kicked off.
Okay. Okay.
Somebody had a question, and I'm going to turn this to you as you're saying, what if you can't hear your calling, or what if you can't feel your calling? Do you have any words of wisdom for that?
I think that's I think it's common. Sometimes it takes time. It really does. Like it takes like time to figure out what moves you, what makes you beat. Once I gave a talk at TD Ameritrade, and I was signing some books afterwards, and this woman, she was one of their heads of their departments, and she came up and she said, you're right. I need to listen. I'm leaving it all to underwater basket weave. And
she didn't literally say that.
And I just,
is underwater basket weaving literally a thing?
I know. I mean, I didn't know it. I wasn't sure. And I said,
you may want to take a minute.
Give it some thought.
Maybe try it for a weekend.
Yeah, just let's temporary. But I believe very much that you just have to give yourself the ability to try and fail. I think it was Winston Churchill that said, success is going from one failure to the next without a loss of enthusiasm. And I
love that. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a lot. That's
so
not an endorsement for Winston Churchill, everybody, because I know y'all clap back about stuff. I didn't vet that. It's just that quote.
Right. It just happened that he said that.
Just that one.
Hashtag problematic.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Sure. Yeah.
Look it up.
but I do love that the visual, that inertia, like that, like keep going, keep moving. And I believe that it finds you. I don't necessarily know that it's always about hearing something. I think there are so many ways that this has revealed that this is what I am meant for. And it's not that it's always gone correctly, because that's definitely not a true statement, but it is about being open to adjusting, to pivoting, to pausing, to giving it, to thinking about how that can work. And I love the idea that, if you are open to it, it will reveal itself. Just give yourself a chance. And, it's hard. It's hard today with, social media being as strong and powerful as it is. People compare themselves a lot. And the journey that you're witnessing isn't always authentic and unfiltered. I believe that if people watched it, if you watch the story of the success of some of the folks that you're like, I just can't imagine they ever struggled. They did a lot, like I know that there's so many examples and stories that I see online on Facebook and things like that, talking about, how long it took for somebody to hit that thing or get it, like hit the stride or make it big. And you just have to be open. You have to be open and you have to listen to your heart. You have to listen to what your heart is telling you. And I know that there's always a very big battle for myself between my mind and what my heart would like to do. But I do believe in giving yourself the opportunity to try the thing, like to do it. So that is That is.
Somebody just wrote, your real life is going to be a fuck show compared to Instagram. And that is so beautiful and compassionate. Yeah, it's
It
true.
is. It's
Your real
true.
life is going to be a fuck show compared to Instagram.
Never heard
And
of a fuck
that's,
show, but
I don't just like that. I just like it. I'm putting that one in my pocket, and
yeah.
I'm taking fuck show home with me because I don't know what it is, but I can picture it.
No,
And
it feels right.
so much of my real life
Yeah.
has been a fuck show.
Yes, mine too. Mine.
It's so good. In the last minutes that we have,
Yeah.
before we do this again, like tomorrow
Or Tuesday.
or whenever the thing happens,
Wait, be gentle with yourself and your fuck show. If that isn't a needlepoint square.
Somebody please put that on a throw
Make
pillow.
it.
Be gentle with yourself. Make it into, put it on your Etsy shop.
Okay.
And the Etsy shop will be called Gentle Fuck Show.
Yeah. Liz, is that a new brand? Heavens.
Do you know, this is why, Azure, people should pay us just to talk, because the ideas, I mean, that's $1 million idea. You guys somebody can take that and you just go and you put it here. And
I know one of y'all's on Shark Tank.
We're so full of abundance, we'll just let you have it because we just come up with more of them.
It is the time, y'all. That's what we're doing. Nothing. When you're like, what did they talk about? We don't know. We're not even here. So the earth opened.
Ashley's gonna weave it into a basket.
Underwater. If you didn't do it underwater, Ashley, I don't want it. Someone also called us fancy because of our cashmere and sapphires. I saw that.
We are exceedingly fancy. So here's what I want everyone to do. I want you to support Black activists. I want you to support Black artists. I want you to support Black writers, and I want you to support Azure's poetry. I want you to go to her page, go to Azure Antoinette, or look up her name. It's spelled here we go. It's spelling time.
She can't spell, y'all.
Azure, and then Antoinette. And
I'm gonna type
look
it
up
out
the
for
book.
you.
The book is called Wild, her book of poetry, where you heard that extraordinary poem that she just read about pride, that is so beautiful. Wild, WHYLDE.
No E. No E.
God, why do I always want to put an E on that book?
It's all right.
Because I think I'm trying to fold Oscar Wilde into it as well. And you can also buy Pivot and Pause. Many of you, I hope, have submitted poetry during our National Poetry Month thing that we did with the Teller Conference, and Azure put it together into a beautiful anthology called Pivot and Pause. You can buy that. These are all direct ways that you can support an extraordinary Black artist who is in our midst and living her calling and teaching our souls and loving us despite ourselves and just being awesome and fancy and just very fancy.
Yeah. We are the fanciest.
We're so fancy. I have my dress overalls on today because I just wanted to bring
really nice
my very fanciest game to our conversation. Thank you for reading your poem to us. Thank you for buying it tonight. Exactly. She is a rock star.
Thank you.
Can people get your book in the UK? That is a
yes. If you write in my Instagram bio, my Venmo is there. I saw some folks asking for that. You can get Wild right there internationally. It'll be back on Amazon hopefully in this coming week. We're just waiting for the printer. And it's all great. Thank you, Liz, from the bottom of my heart. You know how much I love you.
Yeah, and let's have that Venmo one more time because I am a passionate advocate for directly giving money to people. So I would suggest if you love Azure and you want her to continue to be a rock star and a queen, give her some money for God's sake. So go ahead, hit it.
That's my Venmo. It's Antoinette. ANTOINETTE. Yeah. Send it through. India.
You know my adage?
Yes.
You know what I say? Put your money where your Instagram memes are, everybody.
Okay.
Put your money where your memes are. Like if you're out there talking about justice, then just spread the money around. That's what I say.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. We love you all
Um,
too. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
We love you. This has been the fanciest fuck show on earth. We'll be back next time. Thank you for spending your afternoon or morning or evening with us, whoever you are. And just keep answering the call, everybody. And stay. Don't go. Don't leave.
Yes.
The world needs us, the ones who are feeling everything right now.
Yeah.
Just stay with us. Don't go. Okay.
Yeah.
We love you.
We'll be back. Bye, y'all.
We'll be back. Bye.
Bye.